Shelley, what effect will Bob McDonnell's conviction have on Virginia's political culture? And do you think a stronger ethics bill will be passed by the General Assembly this year?
I think a stronger ethics bill will be passed. Whether it's strong enough, I don't know. Last year there was not a whole lot of willingness in the General Assembly to do much more than tinker around the edges. But now there's a conviction, and now there's a lot of talk about Puckett, and there's a lot of talk about a lot of things. So I do think that yes, McDonnell's conviction will lead to stronger ethics reform in the General Assembly, but stronger might be depending on your perspective.
Yeah, I agree with Shelley, and I also think that it offers an opportunity for Governor McAuliffe, who certainly lost on the Medicaid expansion debate last winter, to have considerable leverage on the ethics issue. It would seem to me it's going to be very difficult for whatever bill that is worked out between the Republicans and the Democratic legislators, as they did last year, to avoid scoring any political points from one side of the aisle to the other. They worked out a compromise ethics bill that most observers thought didn't go far enough. This winter, they don't have that assurance, I don't think, from Governor McAuliffe in his second legislative session. Whatever it is that they might agree on to send up for his review and signature gives him a lot of leverage, because I think it's going to be very difficult to vote against stronger provisions that are sent down from the third floor. I think they'll all be concerned about being accused of being weak on ethics in view of the McDonnell trial, and in that sense, Governor McAuliffe is going to have a lot more leverage than we've seen in the past on legislation.
Having put a bill on the floor that banned gifts during session, I can tell you what the debate was then and what I think it's going to be now based upon what other members have told me. I think as soon as you put a bill in, it's a runaway freight train. They're going to throw amendments on there until you ultimately end up with, at least coming out of one house, probably both in an election year, a total gift ban. I think you might see travel restricted and reimbursed from the respective chambers, the Speaker's office and the Senate Clerk's office. They'll have a budget for that. I think it's going to go very much the way the federal system is going. I think you'll see an inordinately less transparent political structure in Virginia. I think deals will be struck, made, press releases issued, and then they'll come out and vote on it. And there'll be a lot less openness. You'll see a lot more closed doors because people do not want to get mic'd up. They don't want to get caught. Then they'll try to get something done and say, here's done and we're ready to move on. And people will go, news cycle's over, and they'll just go on about their way. And that's the federal system, and that's what's going to happen.